Are you tired of spending so much money on oscillating multi-tool blades? Well, I'm going to show you how to keep some of that cash in your pocket. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of DP Shop Talk. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to resharpen oscillating multi-tool blades. Now, it extends the life of the blade and ultimately saves you money. I use my OMT a lot on installations and renovations, and it's really a vital tool. The more life you can get out of a blade, the better value that blade is, and the more money stays in your pocket at the end of the day. So the tools required to resharpen blades is pretty basic. I use a extra slim and a double extra slim saw file. So these are just regular saw files that you'd use to resharpen a handsaw with. So they're readily available. Now the blades that I find that work the best to resharpen are the Imperial brand blades. They have a very basic tooth geometry and they're made of high carbon steel, so they're easily sharpened with a regular file. Now, I typically use these blades for cutting wood and drywall, which makes up the bulk of the cutting that I do with my OMT. And you can resharpen carbide or high-speed steel, but you need a diamond file to do that because they're a harder material. Diamond files are more expensive, so I haven't really found that it's worth the expense of the file, since those blades typically last longer anyway. So I'll show you how the filing process works, and we'll take a look at that. So I have a 12 tooth per inch blade mounted in the vise here. So that is the coarser of the two tooth counts available from Imperial blades. So there's a 16 and the 12. So for the 12 tooth per inch, I'll use the extra slim file that works for that tooth count. If I was sharpening the 16 tooth per inch, then I would use the double extra slim file to do that with. So what you want to do is create fresh metal in all of the gullets across the tooth pattern. So that's the recess between each tooth. So what the end product should be is each of those tooth points, you should have freshly filed metal so it comes to a nice sharp point rather than being rounded off like it is when it's dull. So I use this 15 power lighted loop that you can really get a good close look at it and make sure that each tooth is properly filed. Now both the lighted loop and the files I picked up at Lee Valley, so if you're looking for a source for those, you can easily find them there. So to do the actual filing, what you want to do is get the one of the points of the file down in the tooth gullet and just take a nice even stroke right across, a couple in each one, move to the next one, and just moderate pressure as you go. You don't want the file to catch, you just want just enough pressure to cut well but not bind it. And so I'll just go to each side and just the outside last tooth, just take a couple passes on that just to make sure that's nice and sharp. So that's all there is to it. Now you can take the loop and just check, make sure all the teeth points have been freshly ground. That looks good. So that really brings new life to the blade, so now it's ready to go, good as new, and you can do that multiple times. Now, once you've sharpened down too far, you'll start to lose the set to the teeth, so that's the teeth are kind of alternately bent back and forth, and that creates your kerf. So once that's gone, I mean, you can get tools to reset the teeth, but for a multi-tool blade, I wouldn't bother with that. Once the set's gone, I would throw it away. So that really brings some extra life to the blade. So as you can see, it's a pretty straightforward process to resharpen multi-tool blades. Now, like I mentioned, I usually use these high carbon steel blades for cutting wood and drywall, which really makes up the bulk of the cutting that I do. So whether you're making a little cutout in drywall or nipping off shims after you install cabinets, or just kind of general purpose cuts like that. If I'm cutting metal, I usually use the newer Bosch carbide tooth blades, which really have a good life to them. They will cut through screws and nails and even rebar, and the teeth don't wear out. So that's really a good option for that kind of cutting. If you get into like Japanese tooth multi-tool blades, the tooth geometry is kind of complex, so it's not really worth the time to try and file those yourself and resharpen them. So I usually reserve those blades for making the finest, most precision cuts, and then, like I say, most of my general purpose cuts are done with the high carbon steel Imperial blades. So by doing that, it really gets the most life out of the blades that are used most often, and that really saves you some money in the end, being able to resharpen those multiple times. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave some comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.